Most people know Juvenile as the voice behind one of the biggest Southern rap anthems ever, but the story behind him is way more layered than fans realize. Before the fame, Juvenile grew up in New Orleans' Magnolia housing area and started out deeply connected to the city's underground bounce scene in the early 1990s. Back then, he wasn't even with the label most people associate him with. His very first album actually dropped on a small local label and is circulated mainly through neighborhood record shops and trunk sales. That early project quietly built a street reputation that later caught the attention of Cash Money Records. But here's where things start to get interesting. When Juvenile joined Cash Money in the late 90s, the label was still operating with extremely unusual business practices. Contracts were notoriously tight, advances were modest, and artists often had to rely heavily on touring and side deals to make serious money. Despite Juvenile helping deliver a multi-platinum album that completely changed Southern hip-hop's commercial power, insiders later revealed he was frustrated with how royalties and publishing were handled behind the scenes. At the height of his popularity, while his music dominated radio and clubs, rumors began circulating that Juvenile had begun reviewing his contracts with outside advisors. To the general public, his departure from the label that made him a superstar seemed sudden. However, for those following the street heat in New Orleans, the move was far more predictable. Juvenile's exit actually signaled the beginning of a mass exodus, as fellow Hot Boys members like BG and Turk soon followed suit, citing similar frustrations. This collective break turned a personal dispute into a landmark moment for the industry, fueling a much bigger conversation about ownership and artist rights that would define the late 1990s and early 2000s. Another little-known detail is that Juvenile was heavily involved in crafting the storytelling style that defined many Southern rap records of that era. Producers and collaborators have hinted that he contributed creative ideas, hooks, and concepts far beyond just his own verses. Some insiders even claim he informally helped shape songs for other artists on the roster, though those contributions were rarely credited publicly. Then came one of the most surprising twists in his career. Years after leaving amid tension and financial disagreements, Juvenile eventually returned to collaborate again with the same people he once walked away from. In an industry where grudges often last forever, that reunion shocked longtime fans and sparked endless speculation about what really happened behind closed doors. To this day, many details about those early contracts, negotiations, and creative contributions remain largely private, and that mystery is part of why Juvenile's story continues to fascinate hip-hop historians, who believe the real behind-the-scenes story of his rise is even bigger than the music people remember.